I'm Maya Doms from BASW, and you're watching Bay Area Sports Wrap.
And welcome to Bay Area Sports Wrap. I'm Marko Ukalovic, and I'm here with Maya Doms, a midfielder for BASW, and we're getting to know Maya today. And welcome to Bay Area Sports Wrap. How are you?
Thank you. Good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. You guys got a big match coming up against Racing Louisville. You guys are, I think, tied with the same amount of points in the standings at, is it 14 or 15? And so, how big is this match coming up this weekend?
Other than the first game of the series against them and trying to get that first win, I think it'll be super important for us to get that win as well, because we have yet to win 2 consecutive games. So that's kind of our focus this week, and winning away is always a plus. So getting those 3 points would be a big deal.
All right, and when you look at the time you've been here now, what's the biggest thing that you've learned under Coach Albertine's system and with all the players that you've been able to play with now here?
Yeah, I mean, we're an expansion team. That's a challenge in itself, and I think we've worked really hard these past 6 months to really come together and also play a specific style of soccer, which is very possession-based, but with a purpose. And then I think Albertine has really tried to have us play a style of soccer that's different from other teams in the league, which I think we're slowly building on every time we play, just because this league is super transitional and a lot of teams play pretty direct. So I think that that's something that we've been working on and improving on every week. And yeah.
And so, you haven't had that much time on the pitch this season. Again, you guys have such a talented midfield with Joelle and Dana and so on. What have you learned from them specifically that's kind of helped your game so far to kind of adapt to the professional level of NWSL?
Yeah, I think adapting to a new environment every time, like from high school to college and now college to professional, it's always a challenge, and I am so grateful to be learning from a lot of these players who have a lot of professional experience under their belts. Before, I've been injured for 7 weeks now, but just being able to watch them and how composed they are, how well they carry themselves on and off the pitch. And then I think the biggest thing is just confidence, and that's something that I think you have to build on every time you adapt to a new environment. But yeah, just because they've come from, Dana's come from the European leagues, and then other people have come from other teams in NWSL. It's cool to see how they've also adapted to this new team and like what different things they bring to this. And as a young player, I feel very fortunate to be playing with them and then learning from them as well.
As you can tell, she's not a very popular player here with her teammates because they're just yelling at her all the time. So, Mike, you came out of a story program like Stanford, and you did help them win a cup in 2019. You guys got to the final, I believe, just your last year during 2023. Is that correct? Mm-hmm. And so, just tell me about the experience like playing at Stanford and playing for such a story program where they've been successful in women's soccer over the past years.
Yeah, when we won in 2019, I was just a freshman, and even though I was getting a lot of playing time, I felt like I was not one of the worst players on the field, but definitely felt inexperienced compared to the rest, as a lot of them, like Sophia Smith, Katarina Macario, all those people were on the team at that time. And I think that was a big challenge for me, but now it's helped me become the player I am today. I think my confidence has just grown since then, and it's kind of a similar experience now coming from Stanford to here. It's like now I'm playing with a lot of good players again, and I have to kind of accept my role on the team and also push myself, because I feel like as I was nearing the end of my years at Stanford, I was a leader on the team, and playing time wasn't really a factor for me. It was more whether I was going to perform really well and encourage my teammates and really support them. So I feel like my role has definitely changed, but playing at Stanford was some of the best years of my life, and I think I've learned so much from that. And playing under Paul Ratcliffe, a very winningest coach, I think, to now playing for Albertine, who has a big and good reputation around here, and it's a good test for him as well as a new coach in the professional in professional soccer.
You know, you're drafted 8th overall this year in the draft. And did you have an inkling that the BASW might have taken you, or were you just happy that you got drafted?
Yeah, I mean, before the draft, I talked to multiple coaches across the league. That's kind of how I knew like what teams could select me, and I was also in touch with BASW. And since I'm from Davis, California, I was kind of hoping to stay around home, since I've stayed around home my whole life, even in college. So when my name was called, I didn't know for sure it was going to be called, but when it was, I was really happy. So.
Right. Awesome. You know, you're Filipino American. Mm-hmm. So how important is it to have an Asian American be in a professional women's league like the NWSL?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I feel like I'm very proud to be Filipino, and I feel like I haven't really been able to be kind of a role model for a lot of people until now, just because of the exposure I've gotten since then. And there's a lot of Filipino Americans in the Bay Area, and a lot of the fans that have reached out to me or like waited to talk to me at games, a lot of them are Filipino, and I just think it's I'm like grateful that they see me as someone they can look up to, and I'm glad I can represent the culture well.
And then being from Northern California, you're actually born in San Francisco, are you a big Bay Area sports fan?
Yeah, I grew up going to Giants games. We were season ticket holders when I was younger, and then I am actually a Kings fan, not a Warriors fan. But otherwise, yeah, I grew up going to a lot of Giants games. Sometimes went to some Niners games when it was at Candlestick Park. So,
wow, okay.
Yeah, big Bay Area sports fan. Yeah, and I'm glad that I could still continue to go to games like that.
Yeah, you lighten the beam with your headband there. It's all purple.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so what does Maya Doms like to do outside the pitch when you have some alone time?
Yeah, I mean, other than hang out with friends and teammates, I like coaching. I do some individual soccer trainings with girls from the area. I've gone into some cooking. My mom sent me a lot of Filipino recipes that living in an apartment for the first time, I've actually not forced myself to cook, but I've learned to start loving it more. I do like to paint sometimes. I took a class at Stanford that kind of started my interest in painting, and then more recently, I mean, other than playing other sports, I love playing pickleball. Okay. We like playing some pickup basketball sometimes, and then something I'm wanting to start soon is to start playing guitar. So, nice. Yeah, that's hopefully a future soon-to-be hobby.
Okay. You mentioned cooking. Do you know how to cook lumpia yet?
Of course. Oh, I grew up cooking a little bit. It's pretty easy, so if you ever want the recipe, I can give it to you.
Can I just come over and make some lumpia?
Yeah, I got you.
Speaking of music, what kind of music are you into since you want to play guitar?
I think since I'm interested in playing guitar, I think like it's specific songs and artists that have made me interested in doing that. Coldplay is like my favorite band. I kind of like alternative or like soft rock. So Coldplay, John Mayer, Red Hot Chili Peppers a little bit, and then Chris Stapleton is like my current favorite artist, I think. So yeah.
Awesome. All right, finally, what message do you have for the fans that are going to expect another winning result here in Racing Louisville this Saturday?
Yeah, I mean, the fans have just been amazing home or away games, and they've been true fans since we haven't had the most perfect season. We, as I said again, like we go from like winning to losing to winning to losing. So I think their unconditional support is super important, and we want to get that consecutive win for them.
Awesome. There she is, Maya Doms, midfielder for BASW, and we're looking forward to their match this Saturday against Racing Louisville.
You're watching me, but you need to be watching Bay Area Sports Rap. Bay Area Sports Rap on YouTube. Like and subscribe, and there's a good chance you might get to heaven.